Okay, it looks like we're recording now. Today is August 15th, 1993, and I'm sitting here. I want to explain to you, my name is Doug Weldon, and as I told you before we began to talk, that I've had an interest in the Kennedy assassination, really almost a personal crusade the last 10 years. And as we're going to talk today, as I said, I think that you have a piece of the puzzle that's been unique and, however small a piece, different than anything I've ever heard. And I'm going to indicate to you that I'm not looking to write any book. I'm not looking for any financial gain out of this, and I'm not looking to jeopardize you in any way. Because as we spoke before we started to record, I understand and I believe that there are people that have been put in jeopardy, that have talked about things that they have known. And I would give you the promise that none of this would ever be used during your lifetime for whatever reason. But, and I'm sitting here with your son and a friend. And first of all, I guess I'd like to ask you is, I was 10 years old on November 22nd, 1963, and I remember it quite vividly. And perhaps maybe you could just tell me a little bit about where you came from before you got there, and just a little bit about yourself.
Before that?
Before 1963.
Well, I worked for the Ford Motor Company for 40 years, and part of that was in 63.
And you started with the Ford Motor Company what year? 1934. And when it came into November of 1963, what were your job responsibilities then?
That is the one thing that I'm telling you that they could get back to me very quickly and identify me, because I was in charge of all lamination of glass for Dearborn Glass Plant at the time.
Well, as I've indicated to you, whatever you say, as we talk today, I'm not going to reveal this. You may be the last living person out of the three people that were there.
I do think I am.
And the FBI, I'm sure, would be aware of that now if they had a concern about that. But
I know one is gone, and I don't know about the other one. But what happened was, he was shot on Friday afternoon.
Right, November 22nd.
Around noon. Well, we got it around 2 o'clock that he had been killed. So right away they called meetings to find out what we're going to do. Are we going to run Monday morning with the president being killed? So we didn't decide on anything at that meeting, and being that I had charge of all power service, I was in charge of getting that plant ready to run or to shut it down and everything. So they decided that they would let everything ride, and they would call me on Sunday. So on Sunday, around noon, I had just finished dinner, they called me and told me to go in and make arrangements to start the plant up, because we would have to start that plant up on midnight to get it going for day shift and number 2 shift. So that I did. But then I reported at my normal time on Monday, and they had me on a 2-way radio, and they had me on a Cushman scooter because I was covering a large plant. And so I got a call from the Vice President Division, and he told me over the radio that I was wanted in the glass plant lab now. So I went down to the lab, and the door was locked, and
This was on the Monday morning, which would have been the 25th?
Yeah. And I knocked on the door, and they let me in. There was 2 of the lab men in there, and they had the windshield there. And they told me that we were to use that. See, now the car was a special built car. We were to use that windshield as a template to make a new windshield, and the windshield had a bullet hole in coming from the outside through. You could see it the way it was broken. So we took the
Did you know where that windshield was from?
They told me where it was from. The car was in the plant.
The limousine that Kennedy was shot at?
Flown in, because it was there from Houston, and it was in the plant on Monday.
It was my understanding from things that I have read, and perhaps you know or don't know, that on the evening of the 22nd, that the limousine was flown to Washington, D.C. Do you know anything about that, whether it came from D.C. or whether it came from Dallas?
We never knew anything about it. We only knew it was there.
Okay.
It evidently could have been flown to Washington. It could have been flown right into us. We don't know.
Right.
But the car was in the B building, where we had a repair garage, and they had taken the windshield out. It was back in the glass plant. We were using it as a template. And to make a windshield, and we were told to follow it right straight through until it was a finished product and get it back to the B building. And we were told, if anybody asked us what we were doing, we were running a template for a prototype. So what we did, we took the measurements off of the new windshield, and we cut 2 new sheets of glass. Now, on making a laminated windshield, a curved windshield, you have to cut 2 sheets identical, right, and they have to be bent together so that they're a perfect match. So we did that. We went and we took the template size and everything, and we took it down, and we had 2 pieces of glass cut. We took that glass to the bending layer, and we followed it through the bending layer because they are put in a jig, and they're heated to a melting point, so they sag down into the jig, and you get your curve. And we did that, and we followed it through.
Let me interrupt and ask you a quick question. How many of you were working on that?
3.
Was there
lab and myself.
Was there anybody else there, like the FBI or the Secret Service? Nobody?
Nobody.
Okay.
I don't know whether they even knew the car was there. They must have, but nobody bothered us.
Did they secure the 3 of you in a place?
No.
Okay.
No.
But it was kind of an area where there weren't a lot of people.
It was in the lab where there was just the 3 of us, because that was in where we developed everything in the lab. We went to the bending layers, and production was running normal. We put it in a bending jig, sent it through, and we followed it through. We got it off to the end. From the bending layer, we took it to lamination. In lamination, we put a vinyl sheet between those 2 sheets, and we send it through the laminator. And we bent. Are you? I'll be with you in a minute. And they laminate it together. Just stick it together with heat. From there, it goes into the autoclave. Now, we took it back to the lab, and at that time, we were autoclaving 5 tubs at a time. We took a 5-tub stack, and we split it. We put the windshield in the middle tub, and we put 2 on top of it, and we sent it through to lamination. Now, when it went to lamination, this was my entire responsibility was lamination. I laminated all the windshields, or my department did. And we laminated it. And we took it out of the press, we took it to the washer and washed it, we took it out of there. It was a finished windshield. We took it to the B building. It was put in that limousine. Now that limousine at that time had the interior completely stripped out of it.
There were no.
In it.
Did it appear that limousine interior had been all cleaned?
Oh, definitely. The carpeting and everything was gone.
It was gone.
Gone. It was nothing. It was down to metal. And they restored the whole interior.
Do you have any idea, or did you ask anybody at that time when or where that had been stripped?
Well, I assumed it was there, but that's what they did.
But you did see the limousine.
Oh, yes. I see the limousine.
Was there anything unusual that you saw on the outside features, the exterior of the limousine?
No, it was still that convertible. And the people put the new windshield in, and we left. Later on in the day, I met the Vice President Division, and I said to him, Bob, I said, you know what they were doing down there in that lab this morning? And he said, well, what was happening. He evidently knew, but he didn't want me to know he knew. Now, he's still alive. He's up in Colorado with him. But that's the whole story. Now, I know that I saw the windshield. It was located about 3 inches to the right of the rear view mirror. Right like that. I think if that bullet is one of that comment. Or it could have been.
Are you able to tell from the windshield whether, in your experience with windshields, whether the bullet would have been one coming from the interior or one coming from the exterior?
You can tell from the way it goes in and out. The fragmentation comes out on the back of it. You can tell which direction.
So this was you just saw one evidence of a bullet hole. And did that bullet appear to have come to hit in the interior first?
No, coming from the front.
It came from the front. You had no question about that no bullet mark was from the front.
It was a good, clean bullet hole right straight through from the front. And you could tell when a bullet hits the windshield, like when you hit a rock or anything, what happens? The back will chip out and the front may just have a little pinhole in it.
Right.
This had a clean round hole in the front and fragmentized from the back.
So no question in your mind
we knew
that windshield was hit from the front. Sure. Did anybody, after you went through this process, ever tell you not to talk about it?
No. Nobody mentioned it. It was never mentioned. No. I can't believe you guys.
I know you didn't. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I know that happened, and I told it just to the family. I kept it in the family because I don't know whether it would be... well, they're still trying to keep it hushed up or not.
Yeah, and again, as I said, and I indicated the reasons that I'm looking at this, and I guess while we're talking here, you're George Whitaker, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I went on from there, and then I became superintendent division, and I had the whole 5-plant division as far as power services.
No one ever talked to you about this, or the FBI, Secret Service, anyone?
And I think that was part of the way to keep. They didn't want anybody to know anything about it, so they didn't talk about it.
So you relaminated the window,
And we made it.
made a new one. Do you know whatever happened to the window?
As far as I know, it's sitting out there in Greenfield Village.
The original window with the bullet.
No, the bullet, we scrapped it. We broke it up and sold it.
Were you told to scrap it?
That's right.
Who told you to scrap it?
That was the orders to do the 2 lab men here. They got the initial instructions, and I was called in after they had got their instructions.
Do you have any idea who gave them those orders?
It came from the Vice President Division. I would assume.
Okay.
It could have come from the FBI. I don't know.
Okay.
All I know what he told me on the radio. We want you down there now.
Okay.
And if you knew my boss one now, I was at Met now.
Now, back then, I'm not sure if this has changed. The company still owned those cars back then.
They
lent them.
Yeah, they leased them for $1 a year to the federal government.
So it was technically still property of the company.
Right. Oh, yes.
I don't know how that
That
impacts
car
things, but
sitting in a barn out there, because Ruth and I went out there one day and we found it. Just because I went through the barn, we opened a lot of stuff that they didn't have on display, and we found that car covered up. The tire now was made into a 4-door.
Right.
It has bulletproof glass on all of the windows around and in the back window. Now, you know bulletproof what that says.
what did you do, put a bubble top on it or something?
No, it's a regular
They had the ability to put a bubble top on it in November of
Yeah.
'63.
Oh, I see.
Kennedy did not want to have it on.
I know, because he was in
And,
contact with Crown.
And then, so I come over, I stepped over the rope they've got around it,
Right.
and I went in and got looked at it. My wife said, you're going to get in trouble for getting there. So I went right up to it. The windshield is the windshield put in there. It's not bulletproof. It's a regular standard laminated window.
Is that the one that you built? Was that a bulletproof one? So that is probably the windshield that you put in there.
Standard windshield.
Because, see, they didn't start putting the bulletproof windows in until after that event.
Right. If I gave you a scale of a 0 to 100%, how certain are you that the bullet hole that you saw in the windshield came from the front? 100% certain? 90%
I worked in the
certain?
glass industry for 40 years, and I've seen all kinds of testing on glass, and I know it was from the front.
So you're 100%
I'm
certain?
100% positive it came from the front.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate
You
it.
tell me how a bullet could have come from the back and killed Kennedy and went on through and then got Conley.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Thanks for talking to me.